Hi guys, so I was watching a video on YouTube last night and it's possible that certain spoilers could have been revealed about Star Wars The Last Jedi. So, if you don't want to hear them, then turn this video off right now. You have been warned. Right, basically, apparently, Kylo Ren, he goes and sees Snoke, which is no surprise really, and Snoke or Kylo destroy Kylo's mask. Um, Probably it's more likely that Snoke destroys the mask because he probably does it with his staff. Um, but it's totally possible that Kylo could destroy the mask himself in defiance of Snoke, like saying, for example, "Oh, I don't need this mask. I can survive without it." Because after all, Kylo thinks he's a hard nut, so it's a way of proving himself to Snoke. Like, he's saying, "Oh, I don't need a mask like my grandfather." But in the end, like, Darth Vader didn't have a choice to have the mask, otherwise he would have died. So, now, it's entirely possible that Kylo could basically betray Snoke and turn to the light side. Um, Basically, could you just imagine if these three were the last Jedi and they actually went against the Resistance? So, just imagine if Luke betrayed his own sister. Like, just imagine if Rey betrayed Finn and Poe. Like, I think it's really weird that all of these characters are wearing red in these posters because they're not going to wear red in the films, are they? Like, red is the colour of the dark side and the red lightsaber. Like, Sith usually have red lightsabers. Like, they look like they're part of some sort of cult because they're all wearing the same colour. Anyway, actually, maybe that shows that they're on the same side. But, I mean, Kylo's not on their side at the moment, but maybe that will change. Like, maybe Kylo will actually be killed. Because, after all, he's not included in a certain playset, which includes Supreme Leader Snoke and his throne room. The question is, if Kylo is killed, who kills him? Is it Snoke himself because Kylo betrays him? Or is it Snoke because Snoke absorbs his Force essence? I mean, you can see that this is like a spoiler of a scene that's going to happen in The Last Jedi, probably towards the end of the film. And this scene is obviously set in Snoke's throne room, like with Snoke, his Praetorian guards, the stormtroopers, Finn, Rose, and Rey, and then basically, obviously Poe Dameron's going to be in his X-wing there. Oh, don't forget BB-8 as well. So, yeah, like, and here's like a detailed diagram of the playset. Um, so it says interrogation chair. Is that the same one that Rey was sat in the Force Awakens? Well, probably not because this is supposed to be set on Snoke's ship, which which we haven't seen yet. Um, in the movies, I mean. Um, I mean, it's entirely possible that the chair could have been moved from one ship to another, or it could just be a completely brand new chair. We don't really know. But I mean, look, they've got a detention block here, so that sort of echoes A New Hope again, because obviously, like the Death Star had a detention block in it. Well, many detention blocks. So, Domhnall Gleeson is just one of the actors who has come out with saying, The Last Jedi takes unexpected twists and turns. Now, we can do as many Snoke theory videos as we bloody well want, but probably none of them are actually gonna happen in the films. I mean, like, none of us truly expect, like, there to be, like, masses of Old Republic references. We can only just, like, hope and pray. Like, I mean, you had, like, those ships, in Rogue One that were said to have originated from the Old Republic era, like the Hammerhead ships, and I think those Sith Stalker ships. I think they're like based on a design from the Sith Empire, but like the fact that he's come out with saying about unexpected things will happen, like maybe that is the unexpected things could be Old Republic things, like because like you wouldn't expect them to include like too many Old Republic things because like the majority of the audience that have no knowledge of the Old Republic era because they haven't like read the books or the comics or played the games, it won't make sense to them unless it's like truly explained properly. Like, I mean, apparently, like Snoke is like a person who's obsessed with money, so like money doesn't mean much to Sith or Jedi. I mean, money is usually like bounty hunters and smugglers who care about money. Like, so I mean, like Plagueis and Valkorion and Vishia, like they didn't really care about money, to my knowledge. Like, so that sort of disproves like the theories that Snoke could be one of them. Um, but yeah, if Snoke is so obsessed with money, then why has he spent so much of it on weapons and resources and ships for the First Order? Like, surely he would want to keep like loads of money for himself, or perhaps he had no choice because he needed protection. Like, because we don't know how strong Snoke is at the moment. He could be weak at the moment. But anyway, they've come out with these Star Wars The Black Series figures of Luke and Rey, and it says Rey Jedi Training and Luke Skywalker Jedi Master. Now, basically, like, people could say, oh, this is a spoiler that they're just normal Jedi in the film. Well, that's not necessarily true, because it could be Grey Jedi Master, Grey Jedi Training. That they just maybe they just didn't include that on the box, um, because it would be like massive spoilers. Like, or they could start off as normal Jedi at the start of the film and then turn into Grey Jedi later in the film. Or maybe we have to wait until episode 9 for that. We don't really know at the moment. But you can see, like, I mean, like the greyish clothing that Luke and Rey are wearing. That's like a massive giveaway, really. Um, well, obviously Rey more so than Luke. Um, but I heard somebody say they want like episodes 10, 11, and 12 to be set in the Old Republic era. Well, that wouldn't make any sense because like those episodes are supposed to be set after episode 9, and the Old Republic happens before episode 1. So the Old Republic films, if they do make them, they would have to be set before episode 1. So they would have to be standalone films or a standalone trilogy or whatever. Like, so anyway, like Kylo Ren, he's more of a dark Jedi because he's not like totally Sith yet. So he sways more towards the dark. But with Luke and Rey, it's more interesting in a way. Because like Rey and Luke, they tend to drift more towards the light. So I mean, yeah, I mean, we always knew that Luke must have had a bit of dark side in him because of Darth Vader being his father. But we don't know so much with Rey, whether she has any dark side in her or not. I suppose it depends whether she's related to Luke or not. Um, so yeah, that's what's so interesting about this. Like, Grey Jedi tend to drift more towards the light, and Dark Jedi tend to drift more towards the dark. Um, but I don't think there's a point in Luke's life where he's ever been more tempted by the dark side. Like, I suppose he was tempted by it in Return of the Jedi and The Empire Strikes Back. Well, predominantly more in The Empire Strikes Back because of Darth Vader, like, almost coaxing him to join him. Like, Darth Vader was trying to seduce him to the dark side. Like, he wanted, like, him and his son to take down the Emperor. That is how the dark side works. Like, you think a person has good intentions, like destroying the Emperor and wiping all evil from the galaxy, when really, like, it ends up being like a dictatorship of father and son.